Welcome to another day of backtesting, guys. So we are going to backtest as we usually do, and we will be right back after the intro. Right, so let's do backtesting for the NAS. I tried backtesting for AUD USD earlier on. It was a good session, so let's do for the NAS in this session 3. Okay, so as Android has already loaded, let's remove these images. Good. So first of all, what is our bias? We are, according to the daily, you can see that we have a bullish bias, like higher highs, higher lows, higher highs, higher lows. So it's pushing higher. We have a solid uptrend as our bias, which is also our narrative. Like we want it to hit a POI, then push higher. So we have quite a good view, and we can see that there's also an inverse fair value gap right here that we're about to drop into. And yeah, I think that was all we can mark. And when we go to the weekly, you can see that the weekly is nice as well here. It has taken out the low and the high of the previous week. And got the daily, you can see that we are already on Thursday and almost about to start another week. So let's see what this does. So the previous daily lows for almost the previous week were also taken out, so which means it was in some kind of corrective move. And since we are in some for this downward move, you can see that there is this order block right here. You can mark this up close candle. Okay, you actually can mark it until this. So it's a breaker. Daily breaker block. Okay, we might anticipate it to drop then push higher, since this breaker block coincides with an inverse fair value gap. This is on the daily time frame, so let's go to the 4-hour. It's the top down analysis. You can see liquidity on this low is taken out. We also have liquidity on we also have another good low right here, which we can target as a liquidity point. And if we shift, we'll target this and this, and I think we'll first reach into this zone, then start to look for higher moves. So yeah, I guess basically that's it on the 4-hour. Move to 2-hour now. You can still see this as low standing out. Reaction from this fair value gap, strong low has created this move. It's a point of liquidity as well. Okay, let's go to the 1 hour. Now we've got a fair value gap here. We've got these highs which were swept, and as a reaction to this fair value gap, so let's see if we can get a move to the downside. It's gonna be Thursday in the morning. Let's see if we can get a move to the downside. Probably a reaction to another block, and then we push lower. That would be a good entry. Yeah, this is the first presence of fair value gap on the 15-minute, and on the 5-minute we are also in another fair value gap in here, because the first presented was used, which was this one. So this one is also another possible entry point, this one right here. So we might take a short trade, small trade in here, stop loss right there. Let me take it right here, and then let's see how this trade goes. So you can see that we're dropping, and in the end TP was hit good to R right here. So now we can start to look for other entries. You can see we have started taking out sell side liquidity, and it's already launch hour. So let's see what opportunities will be presented in the PM session. The PM session clock gets some kind of a big move. We can see retracement into this fair value gap here. This one. You can see that it's starting to consolidate a bit, no clear direction. Okay, here we can look for another entry starting, which will be used in the start of the next day. Another major fair value gap created, which means this level of liquidity has been already used, so you can shorten it to here. Okay, go back to the 5. You can see a high, another. Okay, it created equal highs here, so it's a sweep of liquidity and then a shift. We've also got a fair value gap, so once we retest it, we can expect maybe to even push lower into the midpoint of this breaker. Let's see. London session starts dropping a bit. Since London was in some kind of downtrend and we were still in OPOI. And let's play here. Sorry for the distraction. Let's just continue. So it's basically a new day, London session, and it might be showing signs of dropping and dropping until maybe reach some other level. Let's go to the 2 hour and see. So on the 2 hour, we can see that we dropped and we reached a very good level here. So there's another breaker in here, this one. Let's see if we respect it. We are still in the breaker. So basically we've taken out this low, so maybe I look for another important low to target, which might probably be this one or this one or this one. Let's come on 5 minutes. So you can see London pushing a bit high. Let's mark 930. It's pushing a bit higher now. Starting to push up by the start of New York, and we have this high is the next liquidity point. Let's remove this. We also have this one, which means we might either take out this high or even respect this fair value gap. So let's see what the market has. You can see that we are already in the retracement of this fair value gap, and we have also another small one which was the first presented here. So if I were to take a trade, I would just target this high, the low, which I consider the low hanging fruit, which, because this is well, this one looks like a good market maker by model, which means that we might be shifting. Let's go to the 2 hour first. So on the 2 hour, you consider we are already trying to shift, so maybe you might take out this high and then enter into this fair value gap. If we were to continue lower, then we drop after retesting this gap, since it's the next POI we'd have. And I think that will be all. Let's go back to the 5 minute, see if you can get a buy entry. You can also target this one. They're both near the rest fruits. TPs here, stop loss somewhere here. So we tested the fair value gap. This was a really A plus setup, but it didn't work out. Let's see. It ended up taking out this liquidity maybe. And here it ended up taking that point of liquidity. So what did we do wrong right here? Well, on the 15 minute, the gap was right here from this high to this low, and which means for either this trade to work, we will have to take like a 1-to-1. So I think this one, we lost this one. Can download it as well. And we go to the 30 minute now. You can see now on a more clearer bias, whereas we have this gap. Let's see, small gap in here, retest and pushes higher, but we'll get other entries. No worries, it's still in the PM session on Friday. Order block right here, liquidity sweep was done on this low, which means we don't have any liquidity near here. Okay, 30 minute order block. When we got the 5 minute, let's see a good shift. So let's go back to the 30 minute a bit. You can see that we have a good OB here, this zone. Okay, I think this one looks better. Can we get to the 5 minute? You can see that we're reacting off of a major order block, and we are starting to push a bit high, and we took out a good low right here, and we were respecting this fair value gap, as you can see it. Okay, so where did it fly to now? Okay, so it's currently here, so it even took out this level of liquidity. Very nice one. So let's go back to the weekly time frame and remove these drawings. Go back to the weekly. Weekly is showing some good signs of almost about to push higher. Reaction off of a daily fair value gap. This one. We've got previous weekly low, previous weekly high here. So you can mark them. Previous weekly high, previous weekly low, where this previous weekly low is in a fair value gap. means this is a sign that we might be about to push even more higher. This would cause much. So now it's going to go back to the daily. You can see that it reacted in, it came into this fair value gap and then the end even pushed higher, so you have more reasons to even push higher. So basically Friday's high was taken out after we jumped. Let me mark this well. So basically this is the major point of liquidity, this high. It's also buy side because you can see it's a major high after this one. So these are the levels we will target when we are pushing high. The 4 hour now. It's taking a bit long to load. Put the 1 hour now. You can see that it started by creating this imbalance and the midpoint is somewhere right here. Let's use the fib to determine it. From the open to the close, midpoint right there. This is basically a good point we will be targeting, be tested and then push higher. So back to the 30-minute. As we're still in London session, we're dropping. Okay, so let's go back to my time frame, the time frame I want to be trading on. So 5 minutes, it starts by pushing higher. Looks like it doesn't want to fall lower, so we might start by preparing our HTF levels. This is a high here, but it's not a major one. This would be the next one before this one. So basically have 2 points of buy side liquidity, 2 points of important highs, which we can be targeting for the week or even the day. You can see on the hourly time frame, it's a good point to target. Let's back to the 5 minutes now. Let's wait for New York to tap in. So you can see a low taken out here. $9.30. Okay. London is ranging a bit. Alright, so you can see it was ranging, created some equal lows, relatively equal lows, created a fair value gap. Okay, so here you can see that it has no intent of going lower. So this is the first presented fair value gap on the 5 minute, and this was the fair value gap that was created just by the open. On the 1 minute you can see that, well, there was no other fair value gap created other than this one at 10. So the 5 minute we can enter from this one and then target this high. That will be our sell or buy for the day. Target here, stop loss right here. So now it's ranging a bit, generated other equal lows. It's taking a bit long now. And boom, we hit TP just by the start of the other day. So yeah, this is a good one. Entering off of a fair value gap. I just want to keep it simple. So you can see here's another open gap. So again, this open gap right here wasn't respected, but that one, that time it was respected. I can see. And to see how my entry looked like on the 15-minute. Okay. So yeah, that was 2017. I just want to push it until we reach like the 2020s, if it's possible. You can see that the high was tagged out. So we've got another new day open gap. First liquidity point taken. Next liquidity point is this one, but keeping in mind that we have a very good fair value gap right here. Let's go back to 2 hour. We have a very good fair value gap in here. You can see it. We are currently in it as well, so let's wait and see if we reach by it. And looking on this time frame, you can see that now we are trying to shift, going up to the higher points. So back to the 30-minute now. We still have the previous weekly high. Now let's play London session of Tuesday. Wonder why it's taking very long to load. Why isn't it pushing? Okay, you can see it's started to drop first a bit, and I think we have already reached the midpoint already. So London is a bit crazy, as you can see. Created the low, took it out. 930 is right here. So this low was also taken out as well. And we think we're better have our first presented fair value gap. Okay, first presented fair value gap on the 5-minute, and we see that there's this low, relatively equal lows right here, and another relatively equal low we marked yesterday was right here. So this would be our next pool of liquidity. So if we are to sell off, then we would possibly target this point. Let's see if we test the gap, and boom, we are in the gap, which means we can push lower right here. And right, we're back. So we had to shift places. So yeah, basically this is the trade we were looking to take, and let's see if it works out or if it fails. The 3.3 R. Okay, so it does the retest again of this fair value gap, and heads high into the stop loss a bit. Let's see if it reaches that liquidity level. It's now ranging as much as we don't like it. Come on, just stop us out already. It's ranging around our PE point. Okay, so now we were stopped out. But this was a good setup. You can even take it again. Let's download this. Okay. I'm basically targeting this equals level. It wasn't reached, but these ones were taken out. This was the low hanging fruit. So in the 1 minute you can see that this very gap right here. Then this was the move. I don't know. I don't think I will target that. Okay, so we're still. Okay, so it's now a new day. It's Wednesday, London session. It's already started. Let's remove this. Don't think we'll. Okay, let's let it there. Okay. Double mark 930. 930. Oh, come on, I was a bit late. Okay, so when we go to 2 hour, you can see that we dropped into this small gap right here. Then it started pushing higher. So on the 2 hour, I might expect now to push into this gap right here, and now push even higher to take out this previous weekly high. Let's go to 1 hour, same thing. This gap, push higher. 30 minutes, no difference. So let's go now to the 5. Wait for the drop into the gap before we push higher. Okay, so you can see these lows taking out this low. This was a major low as well. Let's see, we have equal lows right here. So they weren't taken out, these ones, which means if we come low, we might also target them. We'll have our first present belly gap. Okay, why no retest? Retest of any gap. You can see how I drop into this gap right here. Let's wait a bit. So you can see that this one is the one being respected after this shift. Basically our entry will be on this bigger one. So we should enter this first one if we start seeing signs of a push higher or so. And OTP. And I don't think we should just target the previous weekly high yet. Let's look for the nearest high. Is there any? Well, 4 hour. We can't see just any. But then I think we can just target right here. Be a 6 hour. It would be a crazy move. Let's make it 4 maybe and swing it and see. And boom, we were stopped out. But I go to the 1 hour. You can see that we have took out this low right here, which means we might be trying to respect this gap a bit. bucks 1 hour now. You can see it's PM session now. Let's play this and see. Have a good fair value gap, which means we are now about to target the equal lows. This ones we already took them, and this is also another major low, so we can also target it to be taken out. So we took out this one and these equal lows. This right here is a good sweep. You can even let it stay like this. New York session on Thursday. Sorry, London. And it's dropping hardly. And yes, we took out the other anticipated low right here. I was waiting for a shift here so that you can apply the standard deviation, but I don't think that's okay. We are trying to shift a bit now. So we got this sweep, and then this low was taken out by this low. So if we apply the standard deviation from here to here, you can see that we might be targeting to push even higher again. So after this shift, let's go on the high time frame and see. Basically, the review on the 1 hour is showing a sweep. We are in a small fair value gap. It dropped a bit into this fair value gap as well. So we should expect a reversal and we push higher. Let's see. Five minutes. We've got our shift. Wow, crazy reaction off of this gap. Looks like we had to fill the gap fully. I mean the one that was in the 1 hour. This one, we filled it for real. We filled it. Let's see where market's heading. It's currently it's still in the morning session, so we can maybe find an entry. It's really volatile. So at this point, it's reacting off of. We are now in this midpoint. Crazy. We might be in the midpoint of here. Yep, we did fill the midpoint, which makes a good market make a sell model. So we're now in the midpoint, so maybe I might expect to start to see a push higher. Expect to see a push higher. In the 30-minute, what are we seeing? So we're still dropping until this. We have this previous weekly low, and we've got Friday starting now, which means this was a really strong liquidity level. Because small pause, when we got to the weekly time frame, you can see that this week is engulfed between the previous week high and the previous week low right here in the December 10. So see that we have the previous week low, this one right here. We haven't touched it, the previous week high, which means that they might be touched anytime soon. You can see this week is still in the range of this high, this low, and it looks like we are targeting this previous weekly low, and as we take it out while we are in this fair value gap, which means after taking it out we might push higher. So back to our 1 hour. Previous weekly low is about to be tagged in. Will this market maker sell model? When we go to 5 minute, you can see a good open pushing higher into this order block, just like this, and then dropping. Maybe by 9 we might expect a full drop into this zone, this previous weekly low. So 920, 925, 930. First presented fair value gap. Where are you? Maybe it might be retesting this one from London. Let's see what it does. It's creating crazy wicks, man. Crazy wicks. And on the 1 minute, it created the fair value gap right here. So we're getting no fair value gap, but why? So maybe you should expect one reaction from this one. So we're already in this one. Just respected it and took out this high. And now we started dropping. PM session of Friday, created a gap in here, retested it a bit, which means my trade will be in here. Stop loss, TP, 5 hour, not a bit. Let's give it some space and make it like 3.5, somewhere here. Let's play the trade. Wow, just a few ticks before we were stopped out. Damn, imagine if we hadn't given it time to breathe. This is really crazy. Almost stopped out. Do you see this? Wow, crazy. Like a point of high liquidity here. Just dropped already. So we started a new week, which means it's now like we have a week whose low wasn't taken, the next week didn't, and then the third week is the one from trying to reach lower and take it out, as you can see it right here, tagged out. Good TP, good trade, and it took way long. Oh come on, it took long. You can see started here and then ended here. 2 days because the weekend passed through though. Yeah, because of the weekend, run of the weekend. So no worries. We keep updating you for the daily trades, and until we meet again in a backtesting session, peace.